We've done this before. We did this at Big Sky Hemp Fest.
Oh yeah, we
We did the same thing. Been there, done it before.
That's one of the fun things that we've done a few times at the show.
Sure.
We just got the camera on and we are live.
Fantastic.
So thanks for having me come out here.
Well, thanks for coming out. Yeah, we've had the place open for tours for a few weeks now, and excited to have people to come out here because it's a really nice facility. We're proud of it. We're becoming more and more proud of it as time goes on. But yeah, it's also a cool campus to see because there's also Montana Kush is here, also on the campus. Top Shelf Botanicals is here, so quite a few big companies on site. But 14,000 square foot greenhouse, full indoor grow, 56 lights and 4 flower rooms, full extraction, packaging, manufacturing, trim. And like I said, a 14,000 square foot greenhouse, which I think is one of the nicest in the States. But we enjoy having you here also.
Heck yeah. I definitely enjoy testing your products. I have gone back multiple times just to get more. You guys' cartridges are pretty freaking amazing. I will say, I love them. Even from your cheaper side to your more expensive side, it's absolutely fantastic.
Sure. Well, I love hearing that first off. Most people probably know us as a concentrate company for our BHO concentrates and also our cartridges. We're one of the top 3 wholesalers in the state. And cartridges are what a lot of people know as 0.9 specifically. We do make 0.5 cartridges and 510 threads also. We do 0.9 disposables, which are becoming more and more popular in the state, especially during the summer when the tourists are here, going to Yellowstone and going to some of the other recreational areas. So we're proud of our cartridges. We're really proud of our BHO concentrates. But as you've probably seen, and a lot of people are starting to see, we have a new brand that's come out called Melts outside of our normal Quaking Aspen brand, which is kind of more of our mid-market, more of our upper-tier brand, but we still continue to make fantastic BHO products like shatters, crumbles, sugars, some of the stuff you see in front of us that we still make at a very low, approachable price point. But we try not to say any of our products cheap, although we do sell it at a very reasonable rate for wholesale, but it's a really high-quality product, so we're very proud of that. But most of the company, we're Montanans. A lot of us are, local, so we make good product for blue collar people, but we also make some higher end product now also for kind of that higher tier crowd that are maybe used to seeing some higher end live resins and some other concentrates maybe they see in the Cali markets or Colorado markets. So, but yeah, a lot of people like our cartridges. We continue to produce really nice carts.
And I shouldn't say cheaper, I should say
you're fine.
Quality even for the buck.
You're fine. Montana is a very price conscious market, as you know, so cheap is normally the word, and we still have a lot of consumers that even go into our 2 dispensaries in town. We have 2 stores in town. We have a store called Melts right across from the university, and then we also have a new store down by Wild Crumb called Hush, which is more of a speakeasy vibe, but we still have a very price conscious consumer base is how I would describe it. But no matter what the price point is, we strive to put the best product we can in all of our products, and yeah, we're always looking to improve. And I think the company's taken a massive step in the last 6 months, especially on the flower side. I would encourage people to try to find our flower or try our flower at our shops in town. But we're always looking to improve. We're always practicing Kaizen, continuous improvement. And I think you'll see this organization take another step up with our quality products. And while we're taking a step up in quality, I think you'll continue to see new innovative products like that space dust that you reviewed a few months ago. And then you can expect to see more Melts products coming out also, kind of that higher tier product also. But yeah, we try not to say cheap. We try to say price conscious, right? But that's just the way the market is right now. I think people are starting to, I see a rosin, a solventless market growing in Montana, which is not a product line that we do yet. We do plan on doing that. We obviously have that nice greenhouse that you toured that we'd love to do photos in. But I think you'll see this market as it matures a little bit. I think you'll see live resin and some more mid-market or mid-quality or products come out, and I think we'll see a little maturing. But we're just always striving to get better every day. That's really our focus.
And as you know, we've tested quite a few of your products, yes, and your Stardust line did go pretty high on marks through our entire company.
Well, we'd love to hear that. Snowballs in Cali were a big craze starting maybe a couple years ago. And, that was really a gimmick product that was, subpar flour that was rolled in isolate. We decided let's just take the subpar flour out and let's just make really high quality isolate. We have that Titan extractor, which you just saw in the other room. And then by mixing terps in, we can make a really clean, high quality product at a price point that's super approachable for people. And it's a product that I would encourage anybody, whether you like really high-end rosin or anything, to try that space dust product. It burns really good on a traditional banger, and it burns great in a Puffco. But it's also a product you can use in infused blunts, your bowls with, a lot of flexibility.
To also tell people, it also works with Dr. Dabber products, such as their Dr. Dabber Switch 2. It leaves pretty much no residue.
Yeah, no residue. It's almost shocking, yeah. So clean. You almost don't have to clean it, right? But this is what that isolate looks like when it comes out of the Titan extractor, and that's what the Space Dust product is made with. But, you know, I don't want to call it a gimmick product, but it's a product we've had fun making. We've enjoyed doing the packaging design, and it's a product that's really taken off in the state. So not only do we try to make the highest quality products, I think you'll see more innovation from us also moving forward. And then I think people can expect diamonds coming up very shortly. I think diamonds will be one of the next products we come out with. So, and as you saw them over there, they're growing in the jar, and we'll come out with some nice packaging on that, and that'll be another product we launch. Kind of in that, what I would consider that mid-market, but I would put our diamonds against anybody's once it comes out. We'll be excited to showcase that.
And from what I've seen from the quality, it beats out quite a few competitors.
Well, we're happy to hear that. We just, you know, beating out competitors is great. We just want to elevate the game in the state, you know. I've been in Colorado market. That's really where I got the start. I've been in Thailand the past 4 years, so I've seen, you know, a ton of different companies, a ton of different brands, and a ton of levels of quality. And there's really a quality and a brand for everybody. But for us, when it comes to making any of our BHO concentrates, you know, we're going to strive to have the best, you know, best product in the state. But really, we're going to try to elevate the entire market. Yeah. I think we need to see that. I think Montana has a ton of potential to be really a market leader moving forward. So, but yeah, we'll just continue to try to push the envelope and continue to improve. And really, as our flowers improved over the past 6 to 8 months, you know, we're starting to see really the improvement in our concentrates also. That's really the key for us as a company. We're going to take another step on the flower side, and then we'll see that translate to all the rest of the products, whether it be the Space Dust, the live resin, the cartridges, the disposables. It should come through the whole company. So we're looking to take one more step, but we've taken a pretty big step the past 6 to 8 months. But yeah, I encourage people to try the full lineup. We make just about everything for anybody, from flour all the way to disposable cartridges and everything in between. The only thing we don't make yet is hash and rosin, but we're going to be exploring that moving forward also.
You know, you had mentioned doing some fun things for your packaging. Do you want to tell a little bit about your packaging, what you guys came up with for your melts packaging?
Yeah, well, I've been in Thailand the past 4 years. I've seen all the Cali hype style packaging. Yeah, that's kind of my personal style. That's what I like and enjoy. And Montana, outside of cookies, really doesn't have kind of a hip kind of street style brand, yeah. And because of our original dispensary, it's now Melts. It was originally Quaking Aspen, right by the university. You know, a big part of our client base is young people, right? And we wanted something a little more hip hop inspired, a little more streetwear inspired, yeah. Something that kind of goes against, you know, what you traditionally see in Montana, which is a lot of outdoorsy brands, right? A lot of old school brands, which there's nothing wrong with. And Quaking Aspen is very much, you know, our main brand is very much kind of an outdoor brand, right? A blue collar brand. But no, we just wanted to trick it up a little bit and try something better. But the focus was to make the dispensary by the university more approachable for the younger generation that's coming up. And I like yellow. I always wanted to do a brand with yellow packaging. I've been inspired by Turpy in Barcelona. I'll tell you, that's one of my favorite head shops in Barcelona. So that's part of the inspiration behind the brand. But really, we look at our target market and try to develop a brand and packaging around what our target market is. And really, by the university is one of our key target markets, you know, locally. So we decided to launch a brand on top of that. And, you know, as our products have gotten better and better and our quality has gotten better and better, you know, Quaking Aspen's at a certain price point, and Melts is at another price point, and we think the quality is a step above, you know, for the Melts product. So that's really why we made another brand and why we launched packaging. But I love packaging design. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, I'm a creative, and we've got a great team of graphic designers that work for us. And if I can provide them a concept, they can come up with really cool packaging. But for me, this company, we should have some of the best packaging in the country, if not the whole world. I've seen a lot of examples of it. So, but yeah, we've come up with a new streetwear brand. We're very happy with our merch line as well. But
I'm currently wearing it.
I love it. Fantastic. But we're, like I said, the university students are part of the target market, and that's where the dispensary is. So that's part of the inspiration on launching a brand like Melts.
So this is just me asking, are
Sure.
you guys planning to either acquisition or try to get a license over there at Montana's sister college?
We're looking to expand retail. We're looking at a lot of options. Obviously, we have some customers that buy a lot of our product, right? So we see the stores that move a lot of our product in particular markets. we're open to anything. We're exploring a lot of options in a lot of markets right now, but we do want to expand retail for sure. Specifically, we have 2 retail brands, both Melt and Hush, so we have a little bit of flexibility. But no, anybody who's looking to sell, please reach out. We're looking to expand on retail specifically. But yeah, there's a few customer stores that move the product very well, and they're obviously potentially a target. But yeah, we're interested. Obviously, Montana and Missoula is a great market. It continues. It seems saturated, but we move a lot of product through Missoula. In fact, that's where most of our product goes, if I'm being honest. So that would be an attractive option for us. But we're looking to expand, not just to Missoula, but there's a lot of options around the state for good expansion opportunities.
I totally concur with that. There's a couple of different places that I have talked to over the years. Some of them are now, unfortunately, are gone.
Sure.
And I'm glad to see that your guys' brand has survived and keeps going, keeps thriving, keeps getting bigger and better.
Well, we're always looking to improve, yeah. I think that's the key point, right? Don't rest on your laurels, right? We're probably a top 3 wholesaler in the state as far as volume goes, whether it be cartridges or normal BHO concentrates. But, don't rest on your laurels. We have a really good team, very happy with the team, and we got really one more big step to take, I think, in the company. Yeah, to get it to the quality level that we all want to see, and I think it's the quality level we all deserve. So it's really, to me, it's us versus us to a certain extent, but there's plenty of other companies in the state that we work closely with, that we would love to collaborate with, right? Obviously, a lot of hash companies that I'd love to collaborate with. So I think we can raise the bar for everybody in the state, but it's just trying to find maybe that good group of companies that we really all want to work with. And it's really companies that want to be culture companies. I think cannabis culture is very important, yeah. So I think we need to find a good group of companies that we want to work with. But those companies, the companies on kind of the top of the market, and it's really, we need to find a way to work together, I would say, instead of working against each other potentially. But, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I see some consolidation in the market right now. I do have some concerns. We've talked about testing times, quite a bit as being a concern, but a big concern. But I think the market is healthy. I think the moratorium in effect, on the retail licenses, you'll see. I think it'll stay a healthy market, but testing is the biggest, concern right now. But we're looking for a good group of companies to continuously work with, and whether that's retailers, other wholesalers. I'd love to do collabs. I don't see a lot of collabs in this state, which I'd love to see also. But I think the market's pretty healthy right now.
I'd love to see if you guys were able to do a Glacier collab, because I know that you guys have had their product in the shop.
I'm a heady guy. I love heady glass. I love rosin. Yeah, that's to me. I see that as a big part of the future of the industry. We're about to take hash holes into the stores also from Tasty Waves. I'm excited about that. That'll be a really nice product to take in and test, right? And but yeah, collabs with hash makers makes sense for us. We obviously have the greenhouse. It's a very nice greenhouse. We could grow living soil if we need to, no problem in that. But I think if you see our flower quality and you see the progress we've really made the past 6 to 8 months, you see our live resin, the quality of our live resin, the terp profiles on it. I think collabs with hash makers makes a lot of sense for us, and we'll explore making our own hash moving forward. But there's some fantastic hash makers in the state: Madison River, Glacier, Tasty Waves. Those guys should be very proud of their product. I've smoked a ton of great rosin from Cali and all around the world in Thailand, and I was pleasantly surprised when I came here to Montana to see the quality of the hash. But yeah, a collab with Glacier would be fantastic for us. Obviously we have the greenhouse, we have the packaging designs, we know how to brand, but we just need a quality hash maker, and we really need hash genetics also. But that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's something you'll see from us in the next 6 to 8 months is a hash collab. Maybe not one, maybe multiple ones.
That's I actually look very much forward to that. That's really exciting.
I would look forward to that one too. That would be something very unique, yeah, that I'd like to see, right? But that's something that could give us a lot of recognition outside of Montana even. If some of these hash makers with the quality of stuff they make, I think we would go to the big competitions, Full Moon Sesh, and go to a lot of the Cali competitions, and I think we could place. I think we could perform very well in those competitions. But yeah, just need to find the right dance partner. But we're open to dance partners on all fronts.
And are you entered into Best in Grass at all?
We're not entered in Best in Grass. I think you can tell me more about that. We missed, I think, the first Best in Grass. That's High Times, correct?
Yes.
That's the new High Times cup?
I just did a full review for them, but I can't post it because they
That's
won't let
okay.
me.
That's okay. No, we'll be entering more competitions. We should do best in grass, obviously. We did Big Sky Hemp Fest. We had 2 cartridges place second and third. We didn't even make special product for the event. That is our normal lineup of product. That kind of snuck up on us a little bit. I should be better about that, but we just entered normal product in that, and we got second and third place in 2 of the cartridge categories. So I think if we put effort into it, if we plan out for a few months, I think we'd have a very good chance of winning those competitions. A rosin cart beat us out in that competition, by the way, right?
Oh.
I wish they would make separate categories for that, yeah. But next time we do competitions, we'll actually plan and we'll put forward really our best product. But I was curious to see how the normal lineup of product would perform, and we got a second and third place. But no, absolutely, best in grass. We'll be doing that competition. Any competitions that pop up, I am a little particular about competitions. I want to see them very well organized, right? So, but it looks like best in grass is pretty well organized. So no, you can expect to see our product in a lot more competitions.
Okay. Well, tell me about a little bit of the lineup.
Sure. Sure. Well, we can start off with the Space Dust, since you reviewed both the Space Dust and the live resin, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The Space Dust is isolate mixed with terpenes, nice packaging as well. Like I said, the concept came from really snowballs coming out of California the last few years, but instead of putting, a low-grade flower and camouflage in it, we make really high-quality isolate out of the Titan extractor. We make really good terpenes from all of our flower, just reintroduce the terpenes, and we can make a concentrate that's super powerful, super strong, normally tests in the high 80s, low 90s, but also burns really clean and very flavorful as well. Burns super clean in a Puffco, burns very clean on a banger, and then it's a product that has a lot of flexibility. You can add it to infused joints, infused pre-rolls. You can basically make anything with Space Dust. You can make your own edibles at home, but I wouldn't want to call it a gimmick product. It's a product that maybe started as a gimmick, but now it's something that's really caught on in Montana and our customers really enjoy. But I would say it's for a customer that's looking for their best bang for their buck, but also looking for a really good experience and a really good terpene profile. So we enjoy pushing that product. And then this is what the isolate looks like. It comes out pure white like that. That's what comes out of the Titan extractor, and that's what makes the Space Dust. But we're really proud of it. And you can find the Space Dust throughout the state, and you can also find it at our 2 dispensaries here in town also. And then the live resin's the new product. Yeah, we just launched it a couple weeks ago. We're super proud of that. I used to work for Oleo Concentrates in Colorado. I know the live resin game very well. And I always thought this market needed quality live resin. And by quality live resin, I mean a product that's not only good on the base product, good terpenes, nice high, good taste, but also nice packaging, nice branding. I think people are looking for that in Montana. They're looking for the stuff they see come out of California and things like that. But that's a product we're super proud of. But you tell me how you liked it, yeah? Got a pretty good score from you.
This was the new one that you just let
That's a
me
new
taste,
one,
and
yeah.
we just put that on the show just a few days ago. Personally, I enjoyed it. I had it with my few testers that we had here in the state. They all scored really high remarks on this. This was the one that got 10 out of 10.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. And that's our first run, so we expect that to improve.
One thing that they all said was they love the fact what kind of jar you use.
The pop backs are nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they love how the volume is. They said it was beautiful consistency, including from me. I even said that. One of these days, I'm going to start giving you reports for these.
I love the reports, yeah, because I'd love to share with the team, yeah. It's good for them to hear it also. But the pop backs are nice jars. It's the first time I've used pop backs. I'm used to using German Myrons, the traditional rosin jar, right? But when I came here, I saw Madison River was using pop backs, and Mark said really good things about them. So we switched over to our nicer concentrates to the pop back, and we're pretty proud of them. I still probably prefer German Myron, to be honest with you, but I think the pop back's a close second, yeah. So, but glad to hear you like the product. It's our first run with it, so if we did this well in the first run, I think you'll continue to see improvements on it. And like I said, I told you we have 60 to 80 strains out in that grow right now. We're just gonna have to go through them and find out what really makes the best live resin and concentrates, and then once we dial that in, it'll continue to get better and better. But we've had great reviews around the state, but I appreciate you and your team reviewing that. I know you guys are pros, so it's good for us to hear.
And as you know, most of my team we use Puffco. Puffco is one of the big brands that we use. We're doing a lot of our testing, including source of biblical products. So, such as Volcano and a couple other different other things. And we've tested quite a few different products. I'm actually looking forward to start testing your guys' flour.
Sure.
Getting more of your guys' stuff, showing the Volcano as well. guys' products have always blown me away. I'm not gonna lie. They've always been extreme. And
What-
consistency and quality has definitely shown.
Nice. Well, we appreciate hearing that. Like I said, as our flowers improve, that's the big step for this company to have the flower improvement, and then that really bleeds through to all the rest of their products. Yeah, so the terpene profile will come out in everything. So that's what we're really proud of. So as we come through the next few weeks and months, yeah, like I said, the original Bruce Banner #3 cuts out there. We'll start giving that flower to you. And yeah, we're getting more increasingly proud of our flower. We just don't want to put out any product that we're not really happy with, if that makes sense. But we're almost there on that front. So expect we've sold out flower every week since April. So that's a good sign for us. But yeah, after we dial down kind of that strain count in there, we find out what works really well for us. I'll start bringing that nice flower to you. Yeah, I think that'll be exciting. I just got to a point where I consistently are smoking our flower because it's reached a point where I'm happy with it. That's a good sign, right? When the staff's enjoying it. But we're almost there. Maybe one more big step as an organization, but we are very proud of it.
And one thing I will say, it is very comparable to a lot of different major brands in California.
Sure.
So what I mean by that is by the quality. As you have mentioned that a few times, and we have talked about that over and over and over again. But it is, again, probably one of the best qualities I've seen in the state.
Well, we'd like to hear that. California is still kind of one of the mainstay markets. We still see a lot of innovation, a lot of the quality products out there. But you do reviews in Vermont, which I'm very curious about the hash scene in the Northeast.
The hash scene over there in Vermont is actually quite unique. Grams are not cheap over there.
I'm sure they're not. Yeah.
So where we have a stereotypical price anywhere from about 35 to 45 to 50 at the most. 65 is the baseline.
Gotcha.
So it gets a little different over there, but I have tried Satori's wax over there. He's got a very excellent quality. He does have to work on his dry back.
Sure.
So the concentrate's just a little too on the dry and crumbly side, even though they're saying it's a fresh press.
Sure. But that'll take time, right? And that's kind of a new market. I've heard really good things about Maine also, right? I've seen a lot of hash makers coming out of there. But I'll be very curious to watch those reviews, and hopefully I can get some of that hash from there eventually. Yeah, I need to make a trip out there.
If you do, we'll have you contact Token Overlord, my business partner, and have him.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I like that you guys showcase product from those smaller markets. I don't want to say little, I want to say smaller markets. Montana is still a small market, right? But like I said, we know some of the best stuff still comes out of Cali and the big markets, but it's nice to showcase what the smaller markets can do also. And we're happy to kind of lead that charge in Montana and continue to do so. But like I said, for us as a company, it's really all about continuous improvement, continue to get better, continue to dial it in, and just to be proud of the product and to really become a culture company. That was really a big focus for me, is to become, more entwined with the culture, especially in Bozeman, but not just Bozeman, Montana in general. Need to see more sessions, need to see more heady glass out on the scene, right? Need to see a little more community involvement. But we're getting there. It's coming. I can feel it. But this is still a very young market. It takes a little bit of time. We recognize that.
Especially with the college scene.
Sure.
They are definitely getting and improving for the newer generations.
Sure.
But we're seeing more and more content creators coming out, but we have really none here in Montana.
Sure, just you and one other person does reviews, as I asked you, yeah. So we definitely need to see more of that. But that comes with events. We need to see more events, more sessions specifically, because those are easy content opportunities, right? So we want to see that. But it'll take a little bit of time, but yeah, the new generation of consumers that's coming up, they've seen legal weed their entire life. Most of them, or they've seen it in big markets, right? They've always had access to it, so they're becoming much more educated. They know the difference between BHO and hash, and they know the difference between crumble and live resins, right? They're becoming very educated. They know good flower to an extent, right? I would say so. It's coming that way, but Bozeman's a unique scene, right? It's a money town. We need to do more sessions. The Yellowstone Club, we need to have more people with Puffcos in hand. Puffcos are really critical. I've always said that, to get more people on concentrates and high-end concentrates. But I think it's coming. It's just a very young market. It takes a little bit of time, but
and being in older markets such as you've been,
sure.
I have also been in quite a few different older markets such as California. What would you want to see come out of the industry from Montana?
Well, I'd like to see culture companies come out. I'd like to see
Yeah.
brands come out. I think especially Bozeman unique. Bozeman's pretty well known in the country now. It's a money hot spot. People know the Yellowstone Club in the area, right? No, I want to see brands come out of Montana. I mean, that's what I'd be curious. I think we have the quality product to do that. I think we have the branding. I think we've had a big infusion of people into Montana from other states that have moved here, obviously, the past few years. But we should have brands like Melts leave the state, and go out and get more wider recognition in the other markets. I think that's why you'll see us once we reach a certain level. You'll see us at some of the big competitions in Cali and around the world. But no, we should see brands come out of Montana. This is a good market. It's a mature market. And no, that's what I want to see. But to be able to do that, we need to have more community events. We need to have sessions. I would love to invite Roger from Puffco, to a session Bozeman. Bozeman's a nice place to stay, right?
Yeah, if you ever invite Roger, I'd love to meet him.
That'd be nice. I'm sure you will if we get that
those
done.
products to test my anything I'm doing for you guys.
Sure.
Anything I'm doing for anybody else.
Sure. But if we see people that have that kind of influence and impact on the industry like Roger has, coming to Montana, coming to Bozeman specifically, and doing events and stuff, and coming to tour nice facilities like this and see nice product, I think that's when you'll know that we've arrived on the scene, so to speak, right? But yeah, we just need to continue to grind, continue to make good product, and good product will find its way to other people's hands, and people will recognize us more. But that's not just for Quaking Aspen and Melts and this organization. That's for all the Montana organizations.
So this is a weird question, because
Sure.
this is a different question pertaining to what is going on with not just the industry as a whole, but legalization as a whole.
Sure. Well,
Do you think, and this is just me saying,
sure.
with how we've had over the 50% majority for the last 6 years of states, do you think the federal government will actually go through and actually do it?
I think, well, the first thing I'd like to see the federal government do is pass the Safe Banking Act. I think that's actually more important than federal deregulation. I think they need to open up the banking sector for loans, for capital, for financing for cannabis companies. It's still a big hurdle. Luckily we have a couple banks here in Montana that, basically provide the entire industry banking. But that's really the first thing I'd like to see, not federal deregulation. I'd like to see, the Safe Banking Act pass. It's,
this is just me saying this.
Sure.
I hope the federal workers, so basically, the Federal Workers Act passes so they can still have those soldiers who need that product to help them with their.
that'd be fantastic, right? That's a silly rule, right? We're at a point now. It's 2025. We've come a long way in the business. We still have a few hurdles to come over. And I was an Oaksterdam University grad, so I remember going to Oaksterdam in 2016 when it was still Colorado just went online, Washington just went online. It was still very much a scary time, right? But pioneers like the people at Oaksterdam, they've led the charge. Now it's up to us, the new generation, right, that are running these cannabis companies, or operators, or, doing events and, doing reviews, right? It's up to us to lead the charge further. I think Safe Banking Act is critical. Any federal deregulation, I'll be curious if the states will, maintain this kind of sandbox we have going around the country where the states can, only allow trade in their individual markets. I'll be very curious about that. But for me, safe banking first to get over the hurdle. I'm from Indiana originally. My home state will be the last state. We're completely surrounded now. Kentucky has a medical program.
If you look at the history of prohibition,
Yeah.
and I hate to say this, but if you take that book and you actually take what we're going through right now, it's virtually prohibited.
Sure.
Indiana, Idaho were the last two states to pass for alcohol.
Sure.
I believe they're probably going to do the same for cannabis.
Doesn't surprise me. And there's a big pharmaceutical lobby in Indianapolis, which I recognize, right? The pharmaceutical companies, ironically, are trying to explore cannabis. They're trying to look how they can make their money on it. They obviously are waiting for federal decriminalization also off the Schedule 1, right? But it'll come sooner rather than later. I always tell everybody it always comes down to one thing. In the end, it comes down to money, right? So it's how do certain people make money on it. But for us and our generation that are kind of starting to lead the industry to a large part, for us, just keep making quality, safe product. Follow the rules in your state markets. I strongly believe in that. Follow the rules, play by the rules, be a good neighbor, right? And at a certain point, especially in a state like Montana, up there in the legislature, they want to see more suits. They don't want to see as many tie-dye shirts, if that makes sense. I know not everybody agrees with that, but we need to be careful about how we present ourselves in front of committees. We need to be careful how we approach lobbying and potential things like that also, while still remaining true to the plant and true to the patients and true to the people that need it for medical purposes. But we're almost there. We're almost through those hurdles. We've made a ton of strides. Like you said, over 50% of the country has at least medical, if not recreational at this point. But I think for a lot of people, including my parents' generation, they've made a complete 360 change on cannabis. They've come around to seeing the medical purposes of it and seeing how it can be a net benefit, not a net negative, right? So we're almost there, but I would encourage every operator and everybody, even consumers, be diligent about the way you consume, right? Know that people are watching. And for us as companies, make sure the product's still tested, follow the regulations, be a good neighbor, and it'll come. It'll take a little more time, but we're almost there. We're almost there.
And that kind of leads me into my next question, but it's going to be more focused onto your guys' brand right now.
Sure.
So which of the two brands that you have created for Bozeman
Sure.
do you like the most?
I like Melds, it's my baby, right? I also like Hush though. We put a lot of money into that Hush store. It's a speakeasy concept down by Wild Chrome. I encourage people to check it out. It's really a good store for tourists. It's a really cool concept on the inside. I like both the brands. Melts is a very flexible brand. It's a brand that can go on any product. It looks good on merch. Yeah, we make quality merch with it. I like flexibility, but I like all the brands. I like the original Quaking Aspen brand, which is still what 90% of the product's sold under. That's still our mainstay brand. That's a very well-known and recognized brand in the state. But we like the Melts brand. The team likes the Melt brand, I can tell, yeah. But the students will be back in a couple weeks, and we'll see how they like it since we transformed the dispensary really while they were away. So we'll see. But I like all the brands, but, I like Melts.
So speaking from
Sure.
people who are at MSU that I know that are there,
yeah,
I won't mention names or anything,
sure,
but they love your guys' store. They love that you guys are
sure.
being very respectful, how your guys' staff is. They've had several people go in there, and they said you've given them a 10 out of 10 experience.
Love to hear that. We pride ourselves. Well, bud tenders are the face of the company.
They really
To a large extent, you rely heavily on your retail staff. So you've seen the cultivation staff out here today. You've seen the extraction staff, but the bud tenders, they're a key part of what we do, and we hire the best people. And part of the reason one of the nice indicators that you're having some success is when other employees and talent from other companies come your way to come work for you, and that's a good sign. But no, very happy to hear that. We support the university in a lot of ways. I can't say names either, but I've had a lot of faculty, a lot of people come and say, hey, we enjoy taking you to your store. And Bozeman's a town a lot of people like to come visit. So when people have family in town or colleagues or work meetings, they bring people by both the stores, Hush and Melts. But appreciate hearing that. Yeah, the retail staff, they deserve it. They do a fantastic job on the front side. But part of that's making a nice store.
Your manager, I've seen her a handful
Lucy's
of times.
fantastic.
Every time I go in, see her, she's always smiling. She's always greeting me. She treats you like family.
Sure, Lucy's fantastic. She's been in Bozeman for quite a while, and she's always been with us, in the store. So, and it was nice to. I wasn't too happy with the store the way it was before, from the aesthetic standpoint. And I thought she and the staff deserved better. I thought they needed a facelift, and we're happy to be able to provide that for them. But no, Lucy's fantastic. And I think a lot of regulars come to the store to see her specifically, and that's a good sign.
Which at a later date we will be going over to their Melts location and actually physically filming there to show you guys the Melts location to give off some recognition for Quaking Aspen here and for you, you guys here at your guys' store.
No, we appreciate it. And just so everybody knows, Quaking Aspen is the name of our company. That's our entire campus, right, is Quaking Aspen, and we still sell most of our product under Quaking Aspen. You can find Quaking Aspen products throughout the state and all the major cities, right? And but Melts is the new brand, which we're really excited about. But we encourage you to try any of our brands. Whether we have a little bit of everything for everybody, from flour all the way, like I said, to disposable carts and everything in between that you can imagine. And then also, if you're kind kind of on the north side of Bozeman, we encourage you to go check out Hush, which is the speakeasy store down in the Wild Crumb district, which is kind of an up and coming part of town. We just did the neighborhood stroll last week, and I would expect us to be doing more events out of Hush also. But please come to check out both the stores, and yeah, if you're outside of the state or you're going down to Yellowstone, we've got partner retailers throughout the entire state. Just go in and ask for Quaking Aspen or Melts.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome to hear. So I guess this is going to lead me to my last question
Sure.
for you. Because I only have a certain amount of lists of questions. But you have mentioned many times in the past that you are a big fan of glass art.
Yes.
What is your favorite glass art in Montana specifically, not outside of the state?
Yeah, that's a hard question because I love slop cups, which are from Japan, obviously. Bought and sold a few of those. I like elbows. Bought and sold a few of those. In Montana, I haven't. Well, this is a problem, yeah. And I'll encourage any glass artists that see this. I don't. When we do the sessions and we do the events in Bozeman, I don't really see the glass artists come out. I haven't really met the local glass artists in Montana yet.
Do the sessions, invite me out next time, brother.
For sure.
I'll make sure I try to bring a few of my friends who are glass.
That'd be fantastic because I'd love to put them on. I'd love to put them on display, right? And I'd love to have them bring their glass to sessions. I know some people are, cautious about that. Other people, taking dabs and breaking their glass. But I would love to do really high-end glass shows in Montana specifically. Do statewide raffles.
There was one that just happened from.
There was the one in Helena, I thought. Yeah. I didn't. I was busy that weekend. I didn't get a chance to make that. That would be curious for me to see, right?
I didn't get to make it that week because I was in Vermont, fortunately. As you guys know, I travel back and forth between Vermont here and Oregon.
Yep.
And Colorado.
I like Trapper Glass. That's the fish. She's the fish artist, I believe. Yeah. Maybe I got the name wrong, but I've seen her stuff.
Will's Glass from. What's his name? But yeah, Will's Glass.
Sure.
He's got some fantastic.
And I've seen some really nice glass in the state. I've been in shops and I've been surprised. I've seen some Blitzkrieg pieces. I've seen good local pieces too. And then in Bozeman here, both at 406 and Karma Corner, there's really nice glass. I'd like to see that glass out at more sessions, right? So people can enjoy it and see it.
Let's not forget Grateful Shed. They've actually been stepping up their game, especially after they just did their remodel. They're getting ready to start getting more heady glass and start getting into that industry as well.
Nice. I'm all for it to see. If anybody wants to get in heady glass, now's the time. You know how the market is. The market's terrible right now for artists, which is unfortunate, yeah, but you can pick up really nice heady pieces at a very affordable price. But for the culture in Montana, that's something we need to see more of. More sessions, more artists coming out, more live glass blowings. That's critical because we have the concentrates to support it, if that makes sense. We have really nice rosin, we have nice BHOs.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sure.
That was Belgian glass, sorry.
Gotcha, that's okay. But we have the concentrate here ready to support that scene. We have money around Bozeman, obviously. We have people that would probably invest in heady glass. But we need to see the glass artists come out and get into the scene a little more, especially in Bozeman specifically. But yeah, I'd love to do glass shows. So any glass artists that are interested in doing shows, please reach out. I think me and Allie from Montana Cannabis Magazine, we were really happy with our last sesh. We did the puffin paints, which is a lot of fun. I think we'll continue to do those sessions at least quarterly. But yeah, I'd love to see more, find a way to get more glass artists involved with it because all the hash makers were there. Right, so we need the glass artists to come through and showcase some of their pieces. And I'd love to do a massive glass raffle, around the state. If artists want to put up a glass piece, we can find a way to do a really cool raffle here. But that's how we'll really get a lot of recognition outside the state. People will notice that from outside the state. They'll see that online, and then we can start doing serious glass shows, like gallery-style shows, which is what I'd like to do.
That, honestly, I've seen them in New York. I've seen them in quite a few different places. I would love to see one here in Montana.
We can do that. We just need the right people. We need the right glass artists. And we could do that, I think, very easily, in the next 6 months. That would be my target. But if we really want to take some brands out of the state and we really want to build Montana's profile, both, in the United States and internationally, we need to do some serious events and we need to display that we can do them professionally. But we have the material. We have, like I said, we have the product. The glass artists, they just need to come out and put some of the glass on display. We can do it in a very safe way. But that's kind of the next step we need to take as an industry here in this market.
Well, heck yeah. with those sessions, which I've gone to one
Sure.
of those sessions with
The first one, yeah, super
uh,
successful.
it was super successful. Sorry, I had to leave out. We had some issues with our Vermont studio.
I know you lost your Puffco. I pulled your name out of the raffle, and then you weren't there, so I couldn't give it to you. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you'll have to be on that. You got to stay for the raffles, yeah. But yeah, no. Generally at the sessions we raffle Puffcos. Some big companies will donate material. So, but I'm happy you came to the first one, and I was pleasantly surprised by the first one, how many people showed up. But if people can consume on site, they will stay. Especially if they're getting free dabs from some of the best hash makers in the state. That's a big draw. But those are the events we need to do more of, for sure.
One thing I've noticed, and this is something that, for me, I've seen it all over. I've seen it in Canada. I've seen it in different places across the U.S. and I haven't seen it here yet. Is an actual dab bar or an actual flower bar.
Sure.
I've seen them in different states.
Yeah, it's because we can't do consumption lounges in the state. That's a big missed opportunity for us. I'd love to do that, right? In Thailand, we could consume on site until just a few months ago they changed the rules. But the Spain model, the Barcelona model, the consumption club model is a very attractive model. I think you're starting to see that in Vegas. We'll see how it goes. That'd be a very attractive model for a city like Bozeman, though. Missoula, it would be a great market for that also, but we'd love to see it.
Even if the bar is off site,
sure,
or on a different, altogether in a different location.
Sure. You mean on a sesh, on like an event?
Yeah, not even just an event like
sure.
that, like what we were doing. I'm talking about having an actual bar where it's only exclusively your guys' products.
Be nice. We tried, the concept of that kind of came up on the last sesh because we had the sponsors set up their own tables with their own product and give out dabs, yeah. But maybe we can do that on a larger scale. I'd be curious about that. My only thing about that is more people need to come to events with their glass and Puffcos. It's a lot of work to give out hundreds of dabs on an event, right? So I would encourage more people, to bring their stuff out, and we need to sell more Puffcos too. But I would encourage people to bring more glass and more Puffcos out. But yeah, a dab bar. I would love to do that, right?
And as you know, I'm a big fan of Puffco, but I'm also a big fan of Dr. Dab.
Sure.
I brought a few of those to a few of the different events that we've gone, where you and me have been at.
And I enjoy the Dr. Dabber, and I've seen some Cartas out also. So no matter what your e-rig is, please bring them out.
The Carta.
Didn't like it as much?
This is just me saying this. The technology's not there.
Gotcha.
I've tried many different companies, many different types of vaporizers over the years I've done this show. And especially before that, where I was product tester. Puffco, Dr. Dabber.
You think those are the tops, yeah?
Are the top.
Gotcha. I agree on the Puffco side, for sure.
Dr. Dabber, the only reason it is because of their new line.
Sure.
And
that's the new device I tried, right?
That was the new device.
Nice. That was nice. That was good.
That was sent to me by them.
Fantastic.
I would love if Puffco, if they ever heard or hear this, we're able to reach out, try to get some more work done with them.
Sure.
To, bring their more of their
I think we can.
out.
I think we can do that. Yeah. Next time we do a sesh, obviously Puffco donated 3 devices on the last sesh for the raffle, so I think we'll work very close with Puffco. Jackie's a great rep for the state, yeah. But we'll find ways to work closer with Puffco for sure. But yeah, we should do another interview on our next sesh. I'll reach out to Allie and we'll schedule another one. I think she was super happy. I was very happy with the first one. Just need to do more of that specifically in Bozeman. The Missoula groups are very good about doing events. There's no excuse why us in Bozeman can't be better about doing events and doing high-level events. But on the next sesh, we should do another interview and we'll get you a Puffco. Yeah, I think we can get that done.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And one other thing I was going to say was, thank you again for letting me come out here.
No problem. We had the chamber, the Bozeman Chamber of Commerce out here last month. Yeah, we've opened the facility up for tours, right? It's a good excuse for us to keep the facilities clean, which is nice. But no, the facilities are open for tours. We enjoy showcasing it. And even in a conservative state like Montana, it's important to bring people through and let them see the scale of this. It's a little different than what a lot of people think. And we have very nice facilities. And like I said, 3 of the bigger companies in the state are all on this campus here in Gallatin Gateway. But no, we loved having you out for the tour and enjoyed doing the interview. And come back out and see us. And then your next review with us, I think we'll get you some diamonds, yeah? That'll be the next product.
And again, I want to try to do a showcase for you guys. So when we're there,
let's do it.
Show off the products at your guys' store.
and then we'll do a live stream to test the product out for you.
Let's do it. That sounds great. Appreciate the interview.
Thank you, brother.
Yep. Thanks.
Alrighty.
All right, easy peasy, yes. Always easy.